College football week 7 is here. I don't know if you're watching this Friday evening, late Friday night, early Saturday, or whenever, but I know you guys are as jacked and tan as we are about another great weekend of college football. I know it's going fast, but we are very excited to bring in our special guest picker, our buddy Josh Mancuso.
Welcome to Alabama. We're in charge of picking the mascot and the nickname, so what are you guys thinking? What about the Crimson Tide? Why crimson? Because when we beat our opponents, it's like a bloodbath. Just a big old wave of crimson blood from sharks and cobras. Okay, all right, just whatever. Alabama Crimson Tide. Great. Is our mascot like a giant wave? Nope, an elephant.
What's up, guys? How y'all doing? Thanks for having me on the show.
Dude, we've been loving the content. Obviously, me and you've been going back and forth on social, just talking, chatting it up. And man, really excited to have you on, watching you blow up. It's great. I love the new podcast with Todd Blackledge, a guy that we have a lot of respect for. And I know you're an actor and a comedian. Before we get started, tell everybody where they can find you on social too, if for some reason they haven't seen any of your content yet.
Yeah, thanks. My handle is just Josh Mancuso, my name. Tried to keep it as simple as I could. Of course, on TikTok, it's the Josh Mancuso because some other guy out there decided to take the regular one.
So
fraud.
You want us to get rid of him? You want us to get rid of him?
Yeah, if we could track him down, that'd be
Fake
great.
news.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah, just give me 1 second.
Some guy named David Cohn says he used to pitch for the Yankees. I've been dealing with that
somebody's
for
been
35
pretending
years,
to be David
Josh.
Cohn.
Can you believe that?
Yeah.
I know. I can
buses.
believe it. It's the cost of being a celebrity, you guys.
That's exactly right.
It's something I live with.
It is, because David Cohn, that's not a common name at all.
No, man. He said he pitched for the Yankees.
Yeah, not even close. But Josh, let's go in and get into some games. I know you're a Tennessee fan, correct?
I am a Tennessee fan, yes. I live in Tennessee, grew up a Tennessee fan, so go Vols all day. But I love picking games, love watching other teams play and getting involved in their tradition as well. So, yeah, it's I have no problem being an unbiased picker of games.
Got to, especially if you're, a degenerate like us that bet on
fit right in.
Got to. I love money, but I bet with my head, not my heart. Yeah. If that was the case, I'd just bet on Auburn all the time. But I bet against them. Yeah. That's an emotional and a financial win.
Yeah.
But Josh, I want to start. We're going to go with some games on the periphery here. Then we're going to get to the steak. All right. We'll start with the appetizer. Have some fun with some potato skins, maybe some mozzarella sticks. Shout out Stacy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shout out Mod Stick Stacy. I don't know, Josh, if you've heard that story, but it's taken over the world. Blaine, quickly, tell Josh the story of mozzarella sticks, Stacy.
Yeah,
I got to hear this.
So I went to Winners and Losers, as a bar up here in Nashville.
And you're dating a girl.
And I'm dating a girl. Well, we'll see how it goes. I'm dating a girl. And so we're at the bar, and I ordered a bunch of apps,
Okay.
So I'm sitting there, I'm talking, and I turn around, and I've never seen a human do that to mozzarella sticks before. I turn around, she's licking the
Not your girlfriend.
Not your girlfriend.
No, Stacy. That's not my girlfriend.
Oh, I thought it was
my girlfriend's friend. Yeah, trust me. I wouldn't be with
Okay.
a girl who does that with mozzarella sticks. I've said this before on the show. It looked like there's a new show out on Netflix. It's called Predator, right? And it's not aliens versus Predator, but it's like lions and hyenas, right? That's what it is. That's what it looked like. And I said, I wouldn't be surprised if like Tom Hardy didn't come on and say, hey, she's walking through the water pit to go and get the feeble animal.
In its natural environment.
It was just ridiculous. So now it's Mod Stick Stacy. So, I mean, it became a thing. It's kind of big right now.
Stacy. So it wasn't your girlfriend, it was her friend. So
No.
she's guilty by association, unfortunately.
Yeah, somewhat, yeah. I felt like I had to go look at myself in the mirror for a
Well, then part 2 is Blaine. Blaine is watching football games, watching the Nebraska-Illinois game over at his now girlfriend's house. That girl is friends with his girlfriend, so she's over there. Then you pick it up.
Yeah, I put a lot of money on Nebraska to win this game, and it was during the game where Illinois kicked a punt.
Punted a punt.
Punted a punt. I mean, technically, I'm not wrong. And it hit an Illinois player, but they said it hit a Nebraska player, and they gave Illinois the ball. So I'm yelling at the TV, not cussing or anything, nothing yet, and I hear a voice from the kitchen saying, Blaine, will you please be quiet? And I immediately turned around and said, shut up! You shut your mouth! You don't know what I'm going through right now. Those girls have never been talked to like that in their life. So that was the first time I've realistically been over there. So, it's going great.
Yeah. So that's what
So
we're.
there you go. That's how our week's
Yeah,
going.
that's what we're dealing with over here.
Adversity builds character.
Mozzarella stick Stacy. There it is. Put it on the shirt.
Yeah, I'm gonna remember that for a while. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of hard to forget. All right, Arkansas, Alabama. All right, 11 a.m. kickoff, 20-point spread. Got it at 19.5, locked it in. Pretty excited about that. Looking at this game, Sam Pittman, Arkansas, it seems like it's slowly falling apart over there. It hasn't worked out. I said it's like one of those marriages where you go over to your friend's house and their mom and dad seem like they get along great together. They're a perfect match. Then going in your senior year, they're getting a divorce. Like the whole time her dad was running around with the woman that worked at the checkout at senior.
Not cool.
Yeah.
Not cool.
It's just not just, it's weird. It's weird that it hasn't worked out and that they're not great up front. I don't see, Josh, how Arkansas scores in this game. I think the defense may put up a fight for a little bit, but I like Bama to cover.
Yeah, I like Bama to cover as well. Arkansas is a huge disappointment. I mean, I love Sam Pittman. I'd like to have a cold beer with him after one of their losses. But I don't think that they're going to do much there with Alabama. Alabama's going to win pretty handily, and they're going to cover. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Jalen Milroe, probably going to have another big game.
Over 300 yards against Texas A&M, really showed out. I'll let you take the LSU Auburn one in a second. But how about South Carolina this weekend hosting Florida? What's that, 2.5, or did it move to 3?
It's 2.5, I think. So.
Minus 2.5, South Carolina at home. You know, I'm thinking I'm taking the better quarterback in this game, Spencer Rattler, combined with the home field advantage. Florida's not the same team away from the swamp, but at the same time, this season when we've discounted Florida, they've had some big wins. How do you think this one will go?
Yeah, I actually think Florida is going to go in there and get it done and actually win the game against the Gamecocks. I think Spencer Rattler is going to continue his trend of getting sacked 6 or 7 times in the game, like Tennessee did to him and other teams have done to him. So I'm thinking Florida is going to go in there and get it done. I don't know why. I don't even like Florida. I'm a Tennessee fan, but here I am going to have to pick Florida. I think they're going to do it. Yeah.
Graham Mertz has been playing above his head a little bit this year.
He has.
Not the Graham Mertz we saw at Wisconsin.
I mean, this just feels, it's basically like a pick 'em.
When you read the stats on Florida's rush offense, I was surprised just because they ran so well against Tennessee. Granted, that game was at home, but still, a lot of the pin and pull game they had going, the counters, the traps, I don't know. Maybe they can get it going against the South Carolina
it seems like a lot of teams, they're Jekyll and Hyde. It depends on if they're on the road or if they're at home. I mean, look at the way he couldn't run the ball against Utah. Couldn't run the ball against Kentucky. I mean, we'll see South Carolina's front seven's got more holes than a Swiss cheese factory in it, so they may have some success there. But I just feel like Spencer Rattler has one of those games.
It's going to be a one-possession game. It's going to be a close game, I think. Let's go to Auburn LSU.
All right.
Sitting at 11.5 LSU right now. The more I look at it, for some reason, the more I like Auburn. I don't know why.
To win the game.
To win the game.
You keep saying that.
Historically, and 6 out of 7 years, it's been a one-possession game. And I know Peyton Thorne hadn't played good on the road. It hadn't Texas A&M, Cal. He hadn't looked great, but this LSU's defense is atrocious. I think it'll be close. And I think it's close in the fourth. You never know. You never know what Hugh can pull out of the hat. Josh, what do you think?
I think Auburn will cover the spread, but I think LSU wins the football game. I think LSU's too good, man. They're right now. Jaden Daniels, their offense, they're so good. Daniels, I think, is the second best quarterback in the nation right now, behind Caleb Williams.
I'm with you.
And but Auburn. Man, I love what Auburn is doing. Hugh Freeze is bringing back the Auburn Tigers to that like gritty, like hard-nosed football that Auburn's so used to playing, that they used to play. My father-in-law, he was an Auburn graduate, and it's been preached into me that Auburn defense and how they play. And I think that it's gonna be close. I do think it'll be close. I think LSU gets it done. It is at home for LSU. So yeah, I'm giving it to LSU.
So Josh, you married the daughter of an Auburn grad?
I did.
One of us. One of us. One of us.
Not us. I married the daughter of an
Hey. One of us.
One of them.
All right, real quickly before we get to the picks, Iowa and Wisconsin.
Under.
I don't care who you think's going to win. The over-under is 34.5.
Under.
What? That is such.
Wait, hold on. It's 34. Hold on. It went down 2 points. It started at
36.5. That's exactly right. Went down 2 points. Iowa and Wisconsin. Does either team, does the over hit? Let's just put it that way. Does that 34.5, does that over hit? I say no.
It's bound to at some point.
No, David, I say no. I say no, David. Josh,
I say no, David Cohn. I don't know. I think it hits. I'm just going to say yes, just because I just feel like I want to.
Look at you.
Well, jobs are on the line for Iowa.
Look,
you have to score a certain amount of points. What was it? You have to.
Well, he said somebody put a number on it. They said they need to score. It's at least 25
I
points a
think.
game. They said they need to score 325 total points on the season to average that. So don't think about it in like, oh, well, you scored 38 this game. It's if you get to 325 points.
Because it's divided by the total.
Because divided by the total.
Does that include a bowl game?
So look, I didn't write the contract. I don't know. Yeah. It's his son, so probably.
We'll talk to our attorneys.
And it probably included a couple scrimmages. Because it's his son.
There's bound to be a grace period in there. Yeah.
That's exactly right. Yeah, we'll think about it. Well, we'll cross the T's and dot the I's. But, Josh, are you ready to enter the Thunderdome?
I am. The arena. Ready in my life.
Stretch it out.
Stretch it out.
Full spread eagle right now.
Here we go.
Some emotional.
Yeah. We're going to start with your team, man. Texas A&M goes to Tennessee. -3, 54.5 is the over-under line. Jake, start us off.
Okay. We've talked about this all week. A&M probably has the best front seven in college football defensively against the run. They're up there in a pass rush, but I don't think they're the most elite pass rushing team. The secondary has been a problem. The first read seems like it's always there. The question of this game comes down to, can Joe Milton make the routine throws routine because guys are going to be open? If they can do that, I think they'll be able to move the ball. A&M is 0-7 in their last true road games. You take away the COVID year, A&M is 3-13 in their last 16 true road games. Tennessee has not lost a game at Neyland since 2021. A&M coming off a game where they got beat up against Bama. Tennessee coming off a bye week where they got healthier. Tennessee, this is a must-win for both these teams to have a chance to win their division, in my opinion. I think a lot of people agree with me. I think Tennessee finds a way to win the game. I think Joe Milton makes enough throws, and I think Max Johnson makes that one mistake at the end that seals the deal. Give me Tennessee to beat Texas A&M.
Interesting. Blaine?
Yeah, I'm running with the Vols on this one, too. I mean, the game's at Tennessee. I can't tell you the last time Tennessee lost a home game. And that bye week is going to be huge, just from a health standpoint. Texas A&M, you're already beat up from Bama. That secondary's beat up. I mean, you couldn't cover anything. I think Joe Milton doesn't play great, but I don't think he plays bad enough to lose. Give me Tennessee.
Josh, do your boys lose?
No, sir. Vols all day, baby. I do believe the Vols win. I think you're going to see the defensive line in A&M's backfield a lot. We're going to get to the quarterback. We're going to stop some of their running game. So I don't think A&M is going to score a whole lot of points early on. I think they will later in the game. But I think Tennessee scores more. I know A&M's got that front seven, but Tennessee's rushing attack with those three running backs are really good right now. And it's a home game. Give me the Vols, man.
Texas A&M had the right defensive plan against Alabama.
They did.
Shut down the run, make Jalen Monroe beat us. Let's see if he can do it through the air. And then he did. Over 300 yards passing. I think Burton's still catching touchdowns, and they weren't even the first one to do it. Tyler Van Dyke at Miami and Restrepo cooked them with that combination earlier in the year. Home field advantage for Tennessee. I'll go with the Vols as well.
Clean sweep.
I do think Tennessee getting run on by Florida at home was an anomaly. I think this Tennessee run defense is better than what they showed in the Swamp. I really do.
Okay. Yeah. All right, let's go to the next one here. We got UCLA at Oregon State in a top 25 matchup. Jake?
Man, Chip Kelly winning the exact opposite way. You think a Chip Kelly team would win with defense and a mild offense. Let's just put it that way. Not that they're not trying to be explosive, but I think the defense is good enough where he feels like he can protect Dante Moore as Dante Moore progresses, who I think is going to be a really good player down the road. I think that shows strength as a coach, being able to win in multiple ways. Obviously, we talk about it all the time in the sports, in all the sports. You look at Oregon State. After losing at Washington State, defense got rolled up a little bit by Cal. I think they were overlooking them in this one. I think this is a low-scoring game between both teams. The defense is embarrassed at Oregon State with the way they played, even though they beat Cal. UCLA is a team that runs on defense. I think DJU gets 2 rushing touchdowns. I think Oregon State wins this game. Give me 24-13. I think they score a touchdown late. They're up 17-13 late. DJU runs one in. I like the Beavers at home. Corvallis, a tough place to play.
Blaine?
Give me the UCLA Bruins, baby. I'm going with UCLA on this game. I think what they did against Washington State, that defensive performance was phenomenal. I think Washington State also had a pick 6 in that game off of this little swing pass. So
hell of a play.
I think Moore's obviously coming along, the Steele kid from Miami, Ohio. No, Ball State. excuse me, let me get that right, is coming along. That running game is getting there. And the biggest thing with me is this Oregon State defense just doesn't look like a Jonathan Smith coach defense. I mean, they're getting rolled up a little, especially against Cal. I mean, you got rolled against Washington State. I mean, then you played San Diego State and teams who are anemic on offense. But give me UCLA, Chip Kelly. The offense plays a little bit better than expected in this game for UCLA.
Josh?
Yeah, I'm going to go with UCLA. I think Dante Moore has a game that kind of breaks him out to be, Jake, like you were saying, a really good football player, which I think he is. It seems crazy to pick against Oregon State and Corvallis with DJ Ukulele over there leading the team. But I'm going with UCLA. I'm the mascot guy. What's a Bruin? I don't know, but I'm
nobody
the
knows.
mascot.
But it gets the
How is it not like somebody like that works in a brewery?
Yeah,
like, isn't that what a Bruin is? It's like, what are you doing? I'm a Bruin. Like, what are you doing all the time? I'm a Bruin.
I'll be a Bruin.
Anyway, UCLA's defense got my attention in the 14-7 game against Utah, but I thought it was just, Nate Johnson, the backup quarterbacks at Utah. But then the way they were able to shut down Cam Ward and Washington State, I really think this UCLA defense is one of the better defenses in the conference and maybe in the country. Does Dante Moore turn the football over? That's what I'm interested to see. I'm going to go with UCLA on the road to win this game.
So at first they had your curiosity.
But now they have my attention. Yes, sir, they
John
do.
Snow in it right there.
I'm going to go with UCLA as well. All right, next one up, ACC matchup. Miami, a victory formation knee away from being undefeated. They go into this game 4-1 against a North Carolina team. And they're at UNC here, who is undefeated. That's -3.5 North Carolina and 57.5 on the over/under. Miami, UNC.
Look, it's easy to harp on the not taking a knee thing. I mean, we've talked about it all week. I still don't understand it. But I understand a lot of things. Why is it called pre-boarding on an airplane? It doesn't make any sense. You're just the first person to board. But I can sit here and think about stuff like that all day. Here's what I think happens in this game. I think Miami is good enough to beat North Carolina. North Carolina defense is better than what it was last year. That's not saying a lot, but they are better. Drake May. And not right now, but I think he is a better version of Justin Herbert that we're going to see in the NFL. He's an incredible player. Watching him manipulate the pocket, manipulate the arm angles, he makes his teams so much better. I think him and Spencer Rattler are the two most important players to their team's success in the country. I think this is a close game, but if you're a Miami player, and you can say what you want to the media, how deep down can you ever trust this coaching staff again? When you put in all this time during the offseason, and they do too, all this preparation, all that goes into getting ready for a football season, and you're not competent enough to realize to take a knee. I think it's tight. Halfway through the third quarter, North Carolina gets up. I think when North Carolina gets up, this Miami team does not respond a little bit because of last week and the lack of trust. And I think the season starts going downhill for Miami after this. I like North Carolina. I like Drake May. And I think there's going to be a little bit of a hangover effect from snatching defeat out of the jaws of victory like they did last week.
Blaine?
North Carolina.
Oh, man, this is such a tough game to pick. I really wasn't impressed with the way Miami's offense played against Georgia Tech. And you got players. You got Restrepo. You got Van Dyke. You have guys. Parrish Jr. is a good player as well. But this North Carolina team feels a little bit different to me this year. And I think a lot of it you can look at is from the defensive side of the ball. They got a couple cats up front who can play, who can absolutely play. You just beat down Syracuse 40-7. You have Drake May at quarterback. I know you lost Josh Downs, but you still have a couple good pieces at receiver. I think this game is close. I would agree with you, but I think Drake May is the difference in games like this. So give me the Tar Heels on this one.
Josh?
Yeah, big players come up big time in big time games, and I think Drake May does that. I would love to, say that Miami rebounds, that they may rebound from that loss and from that moment, and I think they're going to come to play for sure. But North Carolina, man, they have been my pick from the beginning of the year as this sort of Cinderella surprise team that's going to go further than anybody thinks they're going to go. Everybody knows that they're good, but now they're playing with Florida State and other teams that are equal to them or better. But give me the Tar Heels. I think they get it done and keep winning even after this.
Love it.
Last week will affect Miami this upcoming weekend. Either they circle the wagons and they come out and they just roll North Carolina, or that cripples them for the next few weeks and then their season unravels. I like this Miami team. I would love to pick them. But Drake May is going to be the best football player when he steps on this field. Yep. North Carolina is going to be at home. I'm going to take North Carolina.
I agree.
All right, we're all clean sweep. Here we go.
Boom. All right, next one up. USC unbeaten at Notre Dame.
Yeah. Well, I think you know which way I'm leaning on this. I think you're going to see a Notre Dame team, and everybody talks about the Dream Crusher spot. They said the same thing about Clemson. Oh, what's the Dream Crusher spot? Well, you're not going to the national championship game anymore. I think with 2 losses and no conference for Notre Dame, I think we can say that outside of just absolute pure chaos. Clemson went and beat down Syracuse the next week, and they responded. Notre Dame's an old team. They've got they're old up front. They've got an old quarterback. They've got a young head coach that's a good motivator. They took Louisville for granted, and I want to give all credit to Louisville. They won that game. I think Notre Dame thought they could roll their helmet out there, just big boy. I'm in big dog. I'm in front of God and everybody, and the reverse happened. Football has a way to humble you like that. I think you see a Notre Dame team that is pissed off. I think this is an angry Notre Dame team. This is a Notre Dame team that a lot of the pressure's off now, not in a good way. You want the pressure on you, but they're going to play looser. All the pressure's on USC. This USC team looks just like every other Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch coach team that I've ever seen. I think Notre Dame finds a way to score enough. They hold Caleb Williams. They hold him off in the fourth quarter and to come back. Give me Notre Dame to win this game and kind of bring USC back down to reality. And we just realize it's just another Lincoln Riley and Alex Grinch rerun. Same thing. It's a rerun. Come in, make a joke in the living room. All right, Kenny, can't put away those pans.
Blaine?
No, I think Notre Dame has the better roster. They're better up front on the offensive line. I know Louisville played well. But the thing about me, when I look at this USC team, as bad as their defense is, they have absolute cats running around at receiver. And don't forget who's in the backfield. That's Caleb Williams. I think Notre Dame jumps them early. I really do. I think Notre Dame jumps them early. But I think a second half Caleb Williams Heisman moment has got this written all over this game. Give me USC to come out and win this football game. One thing I am worried about, the weather, okay? If the weather's bad.
Perfect for Notre Dame.
It's perfect for Notre Dame, okay? If it gets rainy and gets sloppy.
I want a hurricane.
Then it starts leaning to Notre Dame's way. But if it's sunny, it's not wet, I'm leaning USC.
And remember, Notre Dame's favorite here. -2.5, over under 60. Josh, who you taking?
Yeah, we're on the same page. I mean, if this game had been early in the year, I think I would have picked Notre Dame. I was really high on them early, and they're still a tremendous football team. I love watching them play. I'm a big fan of Sam Hartman. I love how they play. Like you said, they have a lot of older players, and they're pretty polished in a lot of ways. But I think right now I keep betting on USC, and I'm going to keep picking them until they lose, I guess. And so eventually I'll have an incorrect pick, but I'm going to keep picking them as long as Caleb Williams is on the field. I'm going to pick them to win every game until they lose, and then I'll stop picking them. That's my strategy.
Not a bad strategy.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Watching Notre Dame play the first 4 weeks had me wanting to erase my college football playoff predictions and put them in there. I just love the way they were playing football. Carbon copy of Michigan, this run-first mentality. Carbon copy of the way Georgia's won these past 2 national championships. Strong defense, run the football, play action. But, man, they're a Sam Hartman 4th and 16 scramble away from losing the last 3 weeks. Now, the loss to OSU on the last play by 1 foot, that doesn't erase what I'm talking about. They were still a good football team, could have won that game. But it seems like they've let that affect them the last few weeks. I don't know how Marcus Freeman is going to respond. He needs this win. He needs to go on the road to Clemson later in the year and get a win too. I just can't, with what I've seen the past few weeks, pick Notre Dame right now.
Twice.
Even though I really like this team. But yeah, I mean, the Heisman Trophy winner coming into South Bend, we are in for a showdown, boys. I'll take the USC Trojans.
Go,
and then the game of the weekend, man, Oregon, Washington. In a year where the Pac-12, this is the finale of the Pac-12, we get a game like this. The winner of this could be the Pac-12 champion.
Yeah, well, it's like I told you guys, I sat down and just stared out of my living room window the other day for a good hour and a half.
How'd that go?
Just into the woods. Well, once I got past the dark thoughts and got to the football part, it was pretty good. And eventually this Oregon-Washington game came to me. I was one with the spirits.
Yeah.
And it's about how I thought.
Any signs?
No ducks. Thank God there were no huskies just running around. That's kind of horrifying to think about. Dog lover, though. If they were the Washington French Bulldogs, that'd be great. Oh, no. The house getting invaded by Frenchies. But anyway, that's a story for another day. Nobody judge me off that. I think one of these teams is an elite team. I think one of these teams is an elite offense. I think if Oregon goes up and the offense doesn't play at the highest level of efficiency, they can still win the game because they're balanced. The defense is good enough. If Washington doesn't play at its highest level offensively. I don't think their defense is good enough to stop Oregon enough to win this game.
I think you're right.
So I will always lean toward the team that can win in multiple ways. I think Dan Lanning does have a more physical team than what Washington does. But my key stat here, fellas, Oregon ranked in a bad way at the very end of completion percentage against. But they're ranked in the top 5 in yards per pass given up, which means one thing. They tackle in space. And against this Washington offense, if you can get these guys down, they supplement the run game with a quick passing game. They typically break a tackle. You want to run man, they're gone. You want to run zone, they break a tackle, make a safety miss, they're gone. If Oregon can get them down and make Washington go 9, 10, 11, 12-play drives, I think Oregon can win this game. Red zone's huge. Give me the Ducks. Take them money line. Take them plus money. Gordon Bombay. Quack, quack. It's knuckle puck time, dog.
Lane?
He's focused.
Yes.
Oh,
He's having fun.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
A lot of people think he's a dark horse for Heisman.
Oh, talk that
Tell him
talk.
about it.
1,400 yards. 15 TIDs.
Ugh.
1 pick.
Ew.
13th year in college. It's basically Van Wilder. The key to this game, Oregon has to play well on third down. They have to have a good third down conversion. You go back to the Texas Tech game, it wasn't great.
3 of 13, I think.
No, that was Notre Dame versus Louisville. I like a Dan Lanning coach defense. I believe in Dan Lanning more than I believe in Washington's defense. Give me Oregon. It's going to be close. It's going to be close. This feels like there's a minute 20 left on the clock. Oregon's down 2. All right? Bo Nix brings them down the field. They kick a game-winning field goal. Give me the Ducks, baby. Give me the Ducks. Quack, quack, V formation.
Josh, how you going on this one?
Woo, that's good. I'm staying in line. I'm going Oregon Ducks, man.
That a boy, Josh.
I'm stoked. I can't wait to watch this game. I'm going to say something, and so somebody's going to keep receipts on me and come back, and it's going to eat me alive. But I think Washington is a bit overrated. I think they're really good. I think they rely a lot on Michael Penix Jr., who is an amazing quarterback. But I think Oregon's defense, shockingly enough, is going to maybe be a difference maker, get in there and cause him some issues, maybe get a pick or two, actually. And Bo Nix, I actually think I'm thinking a couple of touchdowns win here for the Ducks, actually.
Just on the road.
I'm feeling it on the road. I feel like Oregon just shows up and just goes out, and people are shocked. And I'm either going to eat this later or I'm going to feel like a hero. So I like living dangerously, guys. Give me, one
that
of the
sounds
other.
like me when I get Arby's.
Yeah.
That's right. Give me all of it. That's right.
I agree
All the
with
meats.
everything you guys are saying. I have nothing bad to say about Oregon. One of the most balanced teams in the country.
Your face is
okay. Yeah. But I am not going to sit here and let this be a clean sweep. I had Washington in my college football playoff prediction. Right. I did have them. Michael Penix Jr., know the name, fear the name. Shout out to my boy Nikki Shea.
Picked Oklahoma last week. I'll give you cred.
Let's go Washington at home by a nose. By a nose.
Who's this man?
By a Husky nose. Look, it's going to be a great game. This is... Look, every weekend of college football is great. This is like a sneaky...
Did y'all see the viewership up for college football? It's like up 25.
Of course it is. Because that's why I keep saying everybody's like, oh no, college football with all these new rules, it's going to ruin it. And look, part of that, if you do go too far, it will have an effect. But as long as the on-the-field product is as good as... It's only getting better. It's the best that it's ever been. I mean, you turn it on, and it seems like transfer portal has kind of rose all ships, raised the floor of a lot of teams that may have been middling and made it more competitive. Raise the middle class, that's right. But I tell you what, guy that's high class in our minds, Josh Mancuso. Josh, thanks so much for joining us, man. I hope you had a good time.
I had a great time. You guys are the best, and you're the reason why college football is doing so well this year. I would put it all on you all, to be honest with you. There's pressure now because you guys have made this happen. Now you've got to keep it there, all right? So continue to have good guests on your show. Better than me, probably, but
no, you're top. You're the top one, Josh. You're the top one.
Golly, come back anytime.
Yeah, no, for sure. We got to get together too, man. Go have a few cold sodas and talk some shop. But tell everybody where they can find the new pod, where they can find your content. It's hilarious, man. Every time you post it, it's one of the first things I got to look at.
Man, I appreciate it. I watch your all stuff too. I love it. And joshmancuso.com website, and of course Instagram, Twitter, all those places at Josh Mancuso podcast. All that's there. Love for you guys to follow me. Thanks so much for having me, guys.
I'm following you now.
Yes.
Let's do it again soon, buddy. Appreciate you.
All right. See you guys.
See you, bud.
See you,
Make
man.
sure you subscribe. Catch us on the Sunday recap where we talk everything and preview a little bit of the NFL. Come get this money with us.